Just because I've already done this video idea doesn't mean I can't do it again. Most people have either no car or one car, or if you're like me, you have like 50 minimum. I could go count them all, but it would take too long. Let's say you and I have infinite money, but a garage that can only fit 5 cars. Which cars would you choose? Obviously, there's going to be a different, unique answer from everybody, but let me enlighten you in mine. And I think the general idea of what I'm going to go over will apply to pretty much everybody. So you can't have a garage filled with 5 of the same cars, unless it's 5 Fiat Multiplas. What you've got to have is 5 cars that all accomplish slightly different things. You know, a practical daily, a track car, an off-road car, a cheaper performance car, so on. You know what? Let me go into more detail. The first category is the most important, a practical daily. And if you're gonna daily a car, it's gotta have space and be able to drive in most conditions so that you can rely on it every day. Some things you might want to consider are the drivetrain, the car type, and how economical it is. Although if you have enough money to buy 5 cars, you probably don't care about how much you're spending on gas. The drivetrain part is obvious for some people, but it mainly depends on where you live. For example, if you live somewhere it snows a lot, then it would probably be really nice to have all-wheel drive. If you live somewhere it barely ever snows or rains, then it won't be as big of a deal, but an all-wheel drive car would still be nice to have. Plus, most high-end practical cars are all-wheel drive regardless. Audi has a great all-wheel drive system if you get the right one. Like mine, because I've got Torsen Quattro. Although if you have infinite money, you might as well upgrade from a B8.5 A4 to a C8 RS6. The RS6 is a decent bit bigger than the A4, which I guess technically makes it harder to daily, but it's no S8, so it'll work fine. The RS6 is also a very powerful car. So if you are dailying it, it's not like you'll miss your other faster cars too much because you can always hit 60 in 3.3 seconds. On top of that, it's a wagon, so you'll have a lot of space for like shopping or whatever, or dead bodies. I don't know what you guys are up to. You could be doing anything with that space. That sounds weird. Never mind. You could also go with the RS7, which is practically the same car, but the RS6 has more space and technically isn't as long, so I'd say the RS6 is a better choice. If you're more of a BMW or a Mercedes guy, those have some great equivalents to go with. But same thing goes for pretty much every other luxury brand, so it's really just up to your preference. If you've got the option to have more than one car, a lot of enthusiasts are going to be pretty interested in the highest level of performance car that they can get. You know, supercar, hypercar, track car, anything of the sorts. With infinite money, there's pretty much no reason to just go for a supercar, so most of us are probably thinking of a hypercar. If I were to guess, the Jesko, Chiron, or Valkyrie are probably some popular choices, but me personally, well, just look at my YouTube profile picture. I love the McLaren P1, so it's a no-brainer for me. You know, one of the thirds of the Holy Trinity, perfect car. Honestly, if I had infinite money, I'd probably buy 2 McLaren P1s. Maybe 3, maybe 4, I don't know, I have infinite money, I can do whatever I want. Obviously, with a hypercar, you'd be concerned about reliability and like crashing it or something, but again, in this scenario, we've got infinite money, so you can just fix it up or whatever, buy a new one. Look guys, infinite money, you can do whatever you want. I don't know why in this scenario you've got infinite money but only a 5-car garage, but hey, I don't make the rules. Oh, actually I do make the rules. Oh, sorry. Quick interruption, if you're watching this and you aren't subscribed or you haven't liked the video, I won't stop you if you do. Really, I swear. Watch me do nothing. I won't do anything. You click subscribe, whoa, I'm not doing anything. The next category is utility, and maybe we can sneak a little bit of off-road in there as well because I think those two niches can overlap. Obviously, there's 1,000 different cars or trucks that you could choose, so what are the important criteria? Once again, the drivetrain, all-wheel drive or 4-wheel drive, but that's going to be a given with higher-end vehicles in this category anyways. Or actually, probably any vehicle in this category. We also need something that's got a lot of space, which is also not going to be very difficult to find. I basically just said there's a couple of things we have to consider, and then I said that everything has those things. So I'm not doing too great. You know, there's no qualification for making a YouTube video. I don't know what I'm doing. My personal pick would be the Defender 110, of course, in the highest trim you can get. I think I'd be fine with any year of Defender because the old ones are really cool and the new ones are also pretty cool. I mean, it would definitely be nice to have a classic car in the collection, so that's another bonus for an older year, but we can also consider a classic for the next category, so a new Defender would be nice in that case. Hey, if you're really into classic cars, maybe you want all 5 of them to be classic, but me personally, I'm not like super into classic cars, so I'd probably just have 1 or 2. Let me know what you would pick for a utility vehicle in the comments because I have a feeling my choice isn't going to be the most popular. So we've got a daily and a utility vehicle. We've also got a high performance car, but with 5 cars you might want some more performance. You could definitely go for another hypercar or track car, but I'm trying to focus on diversity here, so I'm gonna recommend a fun car. What do I mean by that? Well, obviously the RS6 and P1 are pretty fun, even the Defender would have a lot of fun things to do in it, but none of these are purely fun. The RS6 is pretty big and it weighs 4,740 pounds, which stops it from being too sporty. The P1 is definitely fun, but it's also super track focused and it's a hypercar. It's hard to explain, but you know what I mean. It's not like pure fun. If we want a car that's just fun and not necessarily the fastest thing there is, we probably want a manual and, you know, want it to be fun. Look, I don't know what I'm saying. I feel like you probably understand my general consensus here though. I could go with a modern sports car like the F-Type, but like I said a minute ago, we could consider a classic car for this category. I think it would be the perfect chance to do so because older cars can be a lot of fun compared to new cars, I would assume. I don't actually know, I've never driven a classic car, but I'm sure for those of you that have a lot of classic car experience, you're gonna back me up on that. So an older sports or supercar would work great, but which one in specific? Well, I don't know, because again, I've never driven one, let alone enough to compare and decide which is the most fun, but maybe a 240Z or 33 Stradale because I do like those. Luckily, the point of the video is more to categorize each of these 5 garage slots, not necessarily decide the exact car for each, so I'm gonna let myself off the hook. The last category is luxury and comfort. I'm making this the last category because I do think it's the least important, as I'm sure a lot of people chose an already luxurious car for the daily or utility vehicle. I definitely did. The RS6 and new Defender would be fine for comfort, but in this scenario, we're really rich and we've got one more garage spot, so we might as well go all out. The main contenders here are going to be any Rolls-Royce or Bentley or, I don't know, maybe another Land Rover, Range Rover, but we already have a Land Rover, so I think we should take a closer look at the others. The 2 models that come to mind are the Rolls-Royce Ghost and the Bentley Flying Spur. I personally much prefer the Flying Spur in terms of looks, but it is sportier than the Ghost and we already have plenty of sport, so the Ghost is really the car that goes all out on luxury. It's also more expensive, so I would assume it's better regardless, but I don't know. Honestly, I gotta come clean to you. I've never driven one. I know, it's crazy. Like, what? Me? I've never driven a Rolls-Royce. What? That's crazy. Concluding this amazing video with lots of research put into it, the perfect 5-car garage is split into 5 niches that all accomplish something mostly unique. That way you'll have a car for most scenarios, including enjoyment twice, of course, because we all like driving. We've got the daily, the most important car, which would be nice to kind of have a little bit of everything in there. Power, sportiness, cargo space, efficiency. Actually, not efficiency, because we have infinite money, and I doubt the RS6 is very good on gas. Then the high performance car, something that goes all out on performance, of course. That one's easy. After that, we've got the utility vehicle, which is also pretty obvious. Then the fun car, which is also easy. Okay, I'm starting to realize that all of these are pretty easy to understand. So I don't even know why I'm just getting the words in. Just keep talking. Well, oh, now I'm talking more and you're listening for some reason. Last is luxury, so, you know, right. Nobody watches the video this far. I can do whatever I want at this point. I could start singing, I could start talking more. Well, I've kind of already just talk a lot. Also, the video is over, by the way. If you're still, there's nothing happening after this. Have a good day or night or whatever you're doing, and subscribe to the channel if you're not and you enjoyed it and you watched this far. And what else?